Good morning or evening or whatever it is. I am Adventure Argonaut and this is Skald. I do believe this will be the final stream of this game, as I think I should be close to the end. So yeah, we are in the Priory, the Black Priory, and we have a puzzle to solve. Let's try something like this. I think I did read something about it online. Like last time when I was at the end of the session, I couldn't solve the puzzle, even though it shouldn't be too difficult or anything. But one thing is that there's all these murals, and I thought like, oh, okay, these are gonna give hints which way to turn the statues, but apparently they're a distraction, and I was overthinking it or something. I'm not quite sure if it's still right, but I do know the basic idea of them. Because I'm used to more like complicated puzzles that because I play point and click adventure games. Yeah, the ground trembles as the sound of shifting stone reverberates throughout the complex. Something large has moved, or perhaps opened. Yeah, here, okay, I'm gonna go heal first. I mean, rest. Well, same. Yeah, I guess I should eat some food. $17 food value. Okay, a beef stew before the final battle. Well, I don't think it's gonna be final battle just yet. Like, there's probably gonna be plenty of cultists and creepy creatures to take care of. Baked fish, fine. 88 XP. Yay, and we got this buff. Entertainment buff. Motivated. Why do I have this empty slot here? Have I deleted something, or I don't know, but it's clearly, maybe it's like a cursed slot into the Priory, even though we are inside, but whatever, it sounds good. The Priory opens, you stand at the threshold of the Black Priory. The octagonal room has 4 throne-like machines arranged around the central aperture. Thick, squirming tentacles spew forth from the shaft, and you can't help but wonder where it terminates. A strange humming can be felt, rather than heard, coming from the center of the room. Examine. Intricately wrought in a complex design that appears more like machinery than decoration, each throne has an indentation that would accommodate a human figure. Okay. So we cannot examine again because I had this. I really do hate this mechanic. Into the Priory. Like, if you don't have the correct character as the leader at that moment, then you cannot do it. Like, it makes sense if there's like a Indiana Jones kind of rock following you, and you have to roll for athletics or get squished. You're in a hurry, but it shouldn't matter which character you have. Like you have maybe not all the time in the world, but you can surely spare 5 minutes to discuss, like the leader says like, hey, you should go explore that because you know more about this shit. Okay, lore 4, examine it closely. Leaning in, you examine the indentation further and notice inlays of pure silver radiating out from where the user's skull would be. You follow the inlays and find that they seem to converge towards the room's central shaft. So are these like, VR pods or something? If you were to guess, you'd say that this machinery somehow attunes and connects the user to reticular vibrations emanating from the shaft. As to what is generating those vibrations, Embla, could it be the Holy Corpse? So the Emperor. Yes, I think the monks came down here to commune with him using those machines, dreaming his dreams. You walk over to the shaft and peer down it. There is no end in sight. Whatever lies at the bottom lies far below this level of the catacombs. Okay. A level up? I guess it's basically fluff. So yeah, they were connecting to the cyberspace mind of the dead emperor or something. It's sort of, cool idea, I guess. I admit. Large pulasting sac grows from the side of the fungal infection. There is something inside. To your disgust and horror, a rotting corpse riddled with fungi spill forth. As it does, it drops a small journal. You pocket the book and move on. Cabal Journal 2. We entered the dreaming hall today. I am awestruck by the mystery of it all. What secrets did the sleeper whisper to the monks as they dreamed? We must push on, and soon enough we too shall stand before his timeless glory. By the maidens, we found it! The tomb in all its glory. We lost 2 members to traps trying to enter the room, but it's only a matter of time now. This is a disaster. How can this be? I know there is something here calling for us. There must be some other way. Several pages are ruined from the fungal infection. Entry 9. To move in and out of the caves and continue excavating the Eternity Gate. My greatest concern at this point is the rate at which we are losing crew to suicides and infection. Several pages are ruined from fungal infection. Entry 14. I saw them change before my very eyes. Oh, blessed maidens, I may have escaped for now, but I cannot escape the images that now haunt me. What's worse, the entire complex is somehow resealing itself, and I'm trapped between the false tomb and the surface level. I can only pray someone is left alive topside to open the gate. So somebody might be still trapped there. Okay, maybe I should save after all this reading and stuff. Is this the... No, this is not the entrance. As you enter the hall, a mass of misshapen flesh and slavering jaws spill forth from shadows and darkened side passages. You can't help but think that the glistening and slimy horrors before you look as if they were birthed into existence recently. No doubt they are now ravenously hungry. Attack. Ew. But hey, I was hiding. Why couldn't I, hide and backstab and whatever? Sure. Oh no, I can attack that thing before it attacks me, or wait, let's see. Yes, okay. Acid spray. Now that's rude. Critical hit. Let's try another critical hit. And thunderclap damages everybody. All the enemies, I mean. Shake the earth. I guess just normal attack because he's stunned already. And I don't have any arrows. Oh, plenty of hunting arrows. Yeah, sure. Think I can't. Ooh. Yeah, I couldn't use the buff ability since I readied and notched an arrow, knocked an arrow. Nice. When she hits, she hits. Decapitation, but they're immune to fear. Okay, there's only one big one left. Yeah, summon ooze, why not? Just done it, just done it. Oh, don't magic missile me, please. Stay on target. Oh, 102 and still not dead, but I got another attack and now it's double dead. Wait, what? So she got another attack, but alas, there are no enemies nearby close enough to attack. How much cost? Well, it's quite expensive, but I guess we can spare. Let's just send the Magmar to attack this thing. Yeah. Let's do a precise strike. Sure, you can also try to do something. Stunning blow, Darcy Blues. You're supposed to do criticals, you silly woman. Also you silly man. Ah ha ha, knife up the arse. Fine, let's do a rapid shot. Backstab, nice. Injured leg. Stabbing the back of its legs. Nice. Yeah, you can go away. So the one left. Fine. Yeah, she's doing even more damage now than before. Because I remember, like, you know, she struggled to make more than 100 damage in one hit, but now she's doing it. Mallet? Where's the mallet? Do I have a mallet before? I guess I have it somewhere in my inventory. I just don't see where. Actually, maybe she should do some touching on herself. That's good. Money? I wonder if we will do anything with money anymore. Is there anything to buy anymore? Of course, we could go back to the town, I guess, but Cabal Journal and Silver Ring? What? Journal entry 1. They found the secret passage to some kind of cave below the false tomb. Something far older than the priory itself, older than the empire even, is the talk around the camp. I just wish my insides didn't hurt as much. They're sending me down with the next shipment of tools. That means passing the night maze, they say. It can't be lit even by magical lighting. I hate the dark. Apparently it's easy enough to navigate if you know how. South until you hit the first wall, and then west until wall, north until wall, west until wall, north until wall, west until wall, then north, and you are there. I went all the way to the sanctum this time by the golden. How I wish I had not. How can such a thing be? The writing becomes rushed. Hear the screams below. Something is wrong. Save us. Okay. I didn't mean to do that. It's more like, I guess I should use some light and see if there's some hidden stuff. Gold. I do feel like the gold is useless. There's this place. I think there's still something this way as well. Yeah, there's some doors and stuff. this is where we, yeah, this is the cyber dreaming chamber thingy. I guess I can. I'm sure there aren't any enemies in these parts, right? So I can just use my lantern guy. I don't even want to take those things because they're not worth much and they waste stuff. Okay, what do we find here? The first sarcophagus. It says the following description: Caroleth the Many-Faced, first Grand Master of the Order of the Crystal Eye. To sleep and dream. Maybe I should write down their names or something. This might be some sort of puzzle, and I don't think it's in the, in the journal either. Many-faced and crystal eye. Okay, he's the GM of Crystal Eye. Crystal Meth. It's the Sacred Order of the Crystal Methians. I guess there's nothing this way, right? Oh. Another one. Third. Calamari Tavais. Uchatrap. Okay, yeah. Or maybe we just have to, you find some text and then it's like, the second Grandmaster's tomb hides the secret, something like that. Second, Rothrax the Grey. It's like Gary Gygax. I don't know why, but for some reason I thought of him. Okay. So that's 3 of them. The music is somewhat haunting. Is this the... Okay, yes. Okay. This is the chamber where we had the fight, is it? I guess so, because I've looted these already. Yeah, okay, this is the journal guy. So I guess we're gonna find the dark tunnel or maze, whatever it was. This ink and paper that appears to have been abandoned mid-use. It seems someone was copying the mosaic on the floor. Ah, okay, this is the maze, I guess. Forces pull at you, driving you inexorably forward. You are no doubt nearing something. What's wrong? Why do we stop? Embla asks impatiently. I have a strange feeling. A feeling we are being watched, snarls Roland as he turns to face the amorphous eye things that glide silently down from the ceiling to prey upon you. Mm, I don't like these scripted ambushes, but oh well, I guess it's to be expected since we are nearing the final boss. Stabby stabby. I guess I can use a thunderclap. Is 5 enemies still? Flame on. Okay, this one is not stunned anymore, so I guess I can stun it then. This critical hit, good, but not good enough. How much? 15, 20. Okay, it's not a big difference in cost. Yeah, sure. Let's summon an ooze. Come on. Crit. Please. Nice. Finally. Yeah, it just goes melee and stuff. Cascade. No crits at all. What's wrong with you? Do that. Okay. Nice. And a critical strike. Injured leg. Does it have a leg? Flame on. Nice. pierce armor. At least he's doing something. It's not much worse than Cat, like, you know, regarding these enemies, because she's just not critting, and it doesn't say they're immune to crit or anything. It's just she refuses to do it. It's like, I've critted enough. Critical hit, and is dead. But no critical hit from her. I don't know what's wrong. Maybe it's the dagger, because it's too evil, but I think in the previous combat she did just fine. So don't really know what's wrong. I guess we can just level them up, but first I should do some healing. Okay, yeah, let's see what spells. Aura of fire resistance. Sure, let's cast every spell we can. Like Fleet of Foot. Fine. No spell. No, not this yet. Fortify awareness. And no spells, and you have no mana. Argonaut reaches level 19. Soon your journey will be at its end, and though victory is nigh, you cannot help but wonder, what will it cost? Thank you, you saved our city. But at what cost? If we are going to go chase the dragon, I mean meet the dragon and stuff, I wonder if the increased will is good, but maybe these might be good too. Defend ally, I'm still not convinced it's any good. Jesse the Body Ventura. Sure, increased aura radius, even though I haven't used many aura spells with her. Yeah, she's not using much of that. What's this? Aha, if you dodge, well, I guess it might be okay. Crippling finesse. Yeah, hey, this is good. I guess we've been trying to hunt for this thing, so yeah, why not? And more yaks. Shield master. Heavy weapon accuracy. I guess that's charge bonus. Doesn't do that much charging, so not sure if it's actually worth it. Maybe just here, get cleave next time and something else. Okay, so our mage is currently useless since he doesn't have mana. A large gilded gong that no doubt must have served some kind of ceremonial purpose. Etched into it in fine lettering is the following text: He who wishes to pass so bold, speak the names of the masters of old, and before the sleeper he beseeched shall offer up a strike for each. Okay, you strike the gong, and with the mallet, and a pure deep note reverberates throughout the complex. So, Caroleth is the first one. So it's like one gong for each. So should I strike again and say Caroleth? Then Rothrax. I'm not sure if I'm. Okay. So maybe I just have to do that in the right order. But it's like it says something like I have to strike the correct amount of times. The instructions in this game are not really clear when it comes to these puzzles, even though they seem really simple. Yeah. It's like, I'm expecting something more complicated, but nope. Because, in a proper point and click adventure game, it would be like, it wouldn't be as simple as it's just, yeah, correct order, whatever. But hey, I'm glad I wrote them down. I wouldn't have remembered the order otherwise. Anyways, you ring the gong a third time and speaks the last name and speak the last name. Sound echoes more strongly than before throughout the catacombs, and the grinding of stones can be heard in the room ahead. Whatever you did, you suspect it was the right thing. Okay, ganglion sounds like gong, so why not? Look! Embla points through the passage to the north. A golden tomb! We must be close now. Finally we shall know. What do we do if you're right? I don't know, but the answers will reveal themselves to us when we stand before the glorious corpse. I just pray we are not too late. We will see. The golden tomb stands before you in all its glory. Have you arrived at last at the object of your quest? Embla, what are you thinking? It still beckons me. Shouldn't it have a K here, beckon? Though standing here now, something feels off. Nonetheless, as I see it, there is only one way forward. We must open the tomb. Open the tomb. You brace yourself and push with all your strength, but find that the lid slides back easily and locks into position with a slight click. It's as if the lid has been designed to open and close. Nonetheless, the sarcophagus of content now lies before you. Look inside. You draw a collective gasp as the content is revealed. Nothing. The sarcophagus is utterly empty. Roland's laughter booms through the tomb. Embla somehow looks less than surprised. What's this? A false tomb. A decoy, perhaps? Like a chest with a false bottom. I suspect the true meaning of this tomb lies deeper than we first suspected, Embla muses. There is something we have missed, some hidden secret. Aha, I spotted something. The tunnel ahead is ancient, narrow, and dark. Walking down it, you cannot help but feel as if you are descending into some deeper abyss. far more ancient than the Priory and reluctant to give up its mysteries. Nonetheless, you also cannot help but feel as if you are once more being pulled forward. Something awaits you at the other end of these tunnels and it's beckoning for you to proceed. You feel it now too, don't you? Embla attempts to peer into the darkness ahead. This is the way. The tomb chamber was never that what the Priory was built to protect. There must be even older mysteries below. I suspect many of the monks themselves didn't know this. Perhaps initiates offered praise to a false tomb for centuries, while the Grandmasters kept the lie. Let's move onwards then. Not to not to interrupt your theosophic ramblings, but there's something you might want to see, Argonaut. Kat has walked up to the edge of the light and is carefully extending her arm into the darkness. Look at this. The darkness will not yield to the light. It's as thick as tar. Some kind of ward, perhaps. I suspect we'll need to navigate these tunnels blindly. Our path takes us into peerless darkness then. Eben rubs his chin thoughtfully. We've survived countless horrors thus far, but I dare say we must keep our wits about us now and proceed with the utmost caution. I can think of a few fates worse than being lost and waylaid in this morass of darkness. Venture forth. Okay. Just rename darkness. I'm gonna put on socks. I'll be right back. And I am back. Still putting on my socks. And let's see. Okay. We have the book. Where was it? I have too many books. Casper is not. Was it the third journal? Yeah, Night Maze. I guess I should write it on actual paper because don't know if we can actually read it in the darkness. I guess I should test it, but like realistically speaking, you shouldn't be able to read it. So south and west, north, west, north, west, north. Okay. Yeah, we're in darkness. What? So can we read the book? Let's check. Okay, we can still read it, which is quite silly. Well, whatever. I wrote it down. I hope I didn't screw it up. So west is this way, and the north, west. Oh, I saw something there. Okay, this is the right direction. I'm just wondering if there's some other. Can I This is, I don't know. This seems piss easy actually. Like even if I didn't have the instructions and stuff. But I'm just thinking, might there be some hidden chest or chamber or something here? But maybe not. Fine, let's just venture forth. What is this? How ominous. The air down here is thick with the metallic smell of ozone, and the throbbing ache grows in your teeth. Each step down the narrow, winding tunnel takes you deeper and closer to what? But you have come this far. You cannot help but feel a surge of determination at being so close to the end of your search. It is close now. The call is almost too much to bear. Embla touches her forehead and for a moment seems to sway. Are you unwell? The Eternity Gate, the Black Priory reveals its secrets to you. Untold eons. Yes, but there is but one way to cure it now. We must proceed, Embla straightens. We must go on, surely we must go on, Ibn insists with an uncharacteristic intensity. We must press on. Rumbling. Is this? Like the tons of stone that presses down from above, so does this chamber convey the weight of untold eons. Rows of embalmed corpses line the walls, sitting in perfect stillness with empty eye sockets that stare into eternity. How long have they been here? These men and women came here to worship long before the first stone of the empire was laid. Their corpses were already ancient when Galleon landed on Erdan's shores. So is this the continent? The continent where the Galleon Empire rose. Okay. The central portion of Erdan was known as the Heartland. They are dreaming! You turn and realize it was Kat who spoke. She looked surprised. I don't know why I said that. The thought just came to me, but they are dreaming, sharing the sleeper's dream, waiting for him to return to them. Where are these thoughts coming from? Can we please leave? Yes, let's move. Ooh. This reminds me of the Trails series from Falcom, the Crossbell games. What are they called? Whatever, it's not important right now. The cave expands into a vast chamber littered with the remains of what you deem to be the final resting place of the Cabal expedition to the Black Priory. Large quantities of stone and dirt have been shifted in what appears to be an attempt to excavate what? Continue. Your eyes strain in an attempt to make sense of the structure partially protruding from the rock. Your mind reels at the thought that whatever this is, it must have been placed here thousands, nay, hundreds of thousands of years ago. What's more, despite seeing just a small segment of the structure, you feel certain that whatever is buried here is vast. We are here. We have made it all these years. This is what was buried under the priory. This is where the sleeper awaits. Embla's voice trembles like a prisoner who senses that freedom is finally within reach. This is the very heart of madness itself, Roland whispers to himself. The sleeper awaits. And we got level ups. But Okay, I want to comment. I hope I remember. Once we finish, I'm gonna make my final comments on the game, anyways. But this isn't particularly related to this game only. But like, I guess even though Embla is not in my party, but she is still a story, a character very important for the story. But I'd like to see an RPG where you make the party members yourself, but they still have actual personalities and story. Like the main character in this game has, like Baldur's Gate or whatever. Of course, in Baldur's Gate you don't make the other characters, but anyways, that's something I can talk about afterwards. The sleeper awaits, if I remember. I guess I should level up. Earth magic. Let's be Earth Master. Distort mass. Okay, let's try this one. Breath glass. Okay, cone attack. Well, let's try this. And let's see if the books we have, the tomes, if any of them have anything for him. Nope. Argonaut reaches level 20. You have mastered all that you have set your mind to. Yet the sweetness of your victory is tainted by the knowledge that once you have reached the top, there is nowhere else to go but down. Yeah, I think 20 is the maximum level. So we cannot. Was it always here, or did we just unlock this? So we should have saved some points. Can I like respect my skills? Either I'm just dumb. Like I'm dumb and I didn't notice I had this all along, or we just we don't have enough ranks for this. This is sort of lame if that's how it works. Like you have to know that you will be unlocking this, and whatever. I didn't want to use my cool special skills anyways. Yeah, everybody. No, this is. Maybe I'm just dumb then. Vein strike. That's bleeding. Increased backstab damage. Sure. Yeah, cleave. Sure, let's get some shield training. Replenishing takedown. I guess this might be nice. Let's see now. Rapid reload. Not even sure if he's using medium armor. But, so yeah, this is still like she cannot use heavy armor, but she has this like I don't know. Maybe it's been patched already, but it clearly has to be a bug of some sort. I guess increased toughness is just good. Delenda est. This thing, Delenda est. It must be destroyed. Carthago delenda est. The strange construct rises menacingly above you. As you approach, the fungal growths that cling to it writhe in greedy anticipation. Clawing impotently at the portal set into the structure's side, you cannot easily discern the material used in its construction, nor the hands that made it, beyond the fact that there is an aspect about it that makes you think of the artifacts that the Magi sometimes employ. Now its outer skin is pockmarked and weathered by the shifting of stone over endless millennia. For the briefest moment, you see it in your mind's eye, free of stone, moving over a landscape of jagged mountains and jungle-clad hills. Great ferns sway in the humid breeze, and in the distance you see great singing towers. A sudden tremor shakes you out of it, this one more violent than the previous ones. As you reel from the quake, Embla walks past you, moving towards the portal with her hand outstretched like a sleepwalker. The air hums with energy that appears to be emanating from the portal itself. The fungal tentacles begin to thrust wildly in anticipation. The tremors return, more powerful now, and around you, stones fall from the cave's roof. Embla, wait! She does not hear you, and before you can grab her, she has touched the door. The effect is instant. Strangely shaped cliffs set into the portal begin to glow with a light so bright it's nearly blinding. An undulating vibration that you feel in your bones rises and echoes through the cave, and for a moment it sounds as if someone or something is howling madly. Then sudden silence. What was? Before you can finish your sentence, the ground shakes again, violently knocking you to the ground. Rocks and debris explode outwards from the center of the cave, and an inhuman roar so loud it causes your ears to bleed emits from the horror that emerges into the cave. Bursting forth from the depths below, it towers above you, a squirming mass of untold millions of strands of fungal growths, animated into a gigantic mud worm horror. Tentacles thrash wildly with enough force to break rock as the abomination claws its way out of the emergence hole and towards you. Then you see it embedded into its roiling half flesh are forms and faces of men. You know with certainty that these are indeed the final members of the Cabal expedition. Stagger to your feet. The creature lumbers towards you, emitting yet another terrible scream. Your heart sinks as you set to receive the charge. From around you echoes dozens of replies as its smaller siblings are called forth to the feast. Draw steel. Dragon? Is this the first form of the dragon or something? Maybe that's it. Manglenda, well, these two will have turns before anyways. guess I should summon a monster, a Pokemon for my 2 wizards. Let's just go hit 10 piercing damage. How unimpressive. Critical strike. Yes, it's good, I guess, to start with, dealing damage. Summon Magmar. Oh yeah, maybe I should have used the spell buff. Okay. It's actually good that he's so slow, like Barfix, the mage, because now I have more enemies to target. But oh wait, let's see, what was this? Distort mass. Enemies AoE points. I guess it's like, it does a decent amount of damage to one enemy anywhere. So yeah, it compared to the Thunderclap, which doesn't do much damage. So okay. So yeah, it's like a boss killer spell basically. But first we should get rid of the smaller thingies. Well, no, we are gang banging this thing first. Okay, stabby. Should I? Let's try hiding combat. Do you lose your turn? I guess you do. Critical hit. Nice. Injured torso. Let's use some flame home. Oh, it died? Okay, yeah, they don't have much, green stuff. So these are... I think maybe these things keep respawning until I kill this thing. That might be it. We rapid shot this then. Yes. Guess summoning an ooze might be a decent idea. Okay, she's not hiding anymore. Let's get rid of this thingy first. Okay, that was easy. I'm gonna assume, well, I know this can't be the final boss, it's too easy, but I'm just will the same combat continue with more enemies, or will this combat end and then we go deeper into the caves? That might actually be it. So I'm not gonna waste resources then anymore. Yep. Victory 699. I was right. And the rats are dead. Should I Let's cast the aura of fire resistance. Okay, it's not anything we can actually interact with, even though it seems like it. We cannot take tools from here. Okay, let's just go here. As you approach the portal, humming once more fills the air, and strange arcane sigils light up across its metallic skin. As if reinvigorated by the resurgent energies filling the cave, the mangled piles of the fungi form things littered around you begin to knit together and reassemble. Roland sits slumped against the wall next to you, breathing heavily. You best get that door open before those things come at us again. I don't think I can hold them for long. So there's more enemies coming, story-wise, okay. Clasping hands, you pull the massive brute to his feet. He winces in pain and cough sprays blood down his chest. Don't worry about me. Roland offers a sad smile. So, okay, he's suffering. He didn't take any damage in the combat. For the first time, you notice the stain bleeding through his tunic and armor. Surely, this is no issue given the right magics. Examine the wound. You apprehensively lift his tunic to reveal his abdomen. Ah, okay, it's like growth. A large gash rimmed by necrotic skin, and worse yet, pushing out of the wound from within are thick, squirming tentacles. I think this is as far as I go. Besides, where are you heading? I suspect you won't need me. What are you saying? Tremors once more shake the cave, and before your eyes, the gigantic herald thing re-knits itself together before rising up to even greater heights than before. It sways momentarily and then lets out an ear-piercing scream. Around it, untold multitudes of fresh minor horrors rise forth. Roland painfully gets to his feet. No, I'm not leaving you. Young fool, go now, I can only buy you seconds. Roland clasps the back of your neck and pulls you until your foreheads touch. No more words are necessary. He lifts his weapon and turns, broad-legged and defiant, to face the onslaught of slavering jaws. Roland! The soft touch of Embla's hand on your elbow snaps you out of it. Argonaut, we have to go. Don't let his sacrifice be for naught. Go. But I think we could just kick its ass again. It wasn't tough. The portal shifts, disassembling itself into its component panels like some strange flower opening its petals. You welcome the sun? Now I'm by myself. You dream of floating of stars, a blue orb wreathed in a shimmering veil. But there is more. A rift. Something seeps through, like venom entering a wound, coiling, roiling, primordial. Suddenly a scream of pain and terror cuts into your mind like an acid knife. Shocked, awake, the scream echoes in your mind. Was it real or was it part of a dream? Stirring slowly, you find you're lying on some kind of table. You're naked and cold, and as far as you can tell, all alone. This place looks a bit like, Alien or something. You stand up and find your head spinning. Even in the faint light, vague outlines hint of proportions and dimension not meant for men. What immortal hand could have framed such things? Perhaps the concealing darkness is a blessing to your racked senses. Sea voyage, even though we're on that sea. And I have no inventory at all. Okay. La 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 la. So these are like pools of water, I guess. Locked. A strange membranous substance blocks the road ahead. You suspect this may be some kind of door, though there is no opening mechanism nearby. Okay, nothing here. Ugh. The scene ahead of you is one of other horror frozen in time. The form of a man utterly unmade with a master surgeon's precision. And for what purpose? Cruelty, perhaps? Surgeon. This is like, I guess, the old school way of spelling surgeon. No, this body was taken apart by curious hands, like a child would pick apart some clever clockwork toy to get at secrets within. Murder to dissect. Examine more closely. Reluctantly, you approach the mangled face of the corpse. Disassembled into its anatomical component pieces, it's nonetheless familiar to you. This is the corpse of Eben, the man who fought so valiantly at your side through horrors untold. There was no warrior's death for him, just pain and terror. Goodbye, old friend. Ugh. The corpse's eyes open wide. Impossibly, Eben is still alive. The surgeon has taken great care to maintain the integrity of the circulatory system, and for the first time you notice that the splayed body parts are still connected by pulsating blood vessels. Eyes stare at you in wordless terror and no doubt pain beyond measure. Let's try healing. No! Your hands shake as you contemplate what you must do. To release him, you must no doubt inflict more pain onto his tortured form. Fumbling, you reach into the open chest cavity, searching for his heart and find it, but the feeling of it beating in your hands is enough to make you vomit. You try again, and tears streaming down your face, and with much effort, you eventually manage to end his torment. Dazed, and you stumble away from the horrid scene. There is nothing more for you here now. You must push ahead. I wanna try to succeed in this. Like what happens? And I wonder, is the reason Eben is there because I chose to sit next to him at the party or the carnival. I want maybe it doesn't matter, but it's like, now the game thinks like, oh, he's my best friend because I wanted to sit next to him, and it's not particularly that reason. No. So I'm just gonna save another save here. So I don't have to walk so far, because it might take a few more tries. Nope. You bring glory upon thine ancestors. You control your breathing as best you can. Eben is already gone. You're just setting him free. With deft hands, you reach into the open chest cavity and find the still beating heart. You end his torment. Dazed, you stumble away from the horrid scene. There is nothing more for you here. You must push ahead. Okay, so it doesn't really seem to make a difference. The simulacra of a humanoid form stands before you. Is this a machine imitating life or some kind of living thing imitating a machine? Strange viscous liquid fills its cupped hands and is offering it to you. Ew, I don't want the viscous liquid in its hands. No, thank you. Okay, so it's locked. Ew. Movement catches your eye. Something small and pale, crouching like a frightened animal. Your heart sinks as you see who it is. Cat. She throws herself at you and clings to you like a shivering child. They made him. Who are they? What's happening?
The little men, they live in the walls. I saw them take us, strip us down like beasts, go into the butcher's cleaver. They don't sleep like eat us. They stay awake so he can sleep.
What do you mean?
The king, the navigator.
See, it's just like Alien.
He slept for so long, but they say it's time for him to wake up now. They say they're glad we came here. We did good, but I don't believe them. We should never have come. Gods walk these halls.
We need to get out of here. Cat's expression vacillates between smile and sheer terror.
The little men say we can't leave. The king must awaken before the crawling doom finds its way inside.
She tilts her head slightly to one side as if hearing something.
And they say it's time for me to go now. I'm next.
She takes a step backwards. Cat? She holds your gaze, her smile almost apologetic as she backs up against the wall. The strange biomechanical material convulses and a fissure opens up. Half a dozen grotesque small hands reach out and wrap around Cat. Before you have time to react, she is pulled in and the fissure seals shut with a disgusting smack. You are left dumbfounded and alone. Okay, more viscous liquid, I guess. Yeah, I don't want your viscous liquids. Yeah, what that is. Vessel. Ah, so do I have to go get some viscous liquids? Fill vessel. The vessel slots into the machine breech and fills liquid. You take it back, perhaps this can be of some use. The compot. Smooth, empty basins line the console. Narrow grooves seem to connect them, and you get a feeling they're part of some kind of machine. Whatever this is, it appears dormant at the moment and has likely been so for a long time. I'm gonna look around first. The aperture on the wall is strangely mesmerizing, though at the present you have a feeling it is somehow inactive. You look over at the empty basins flanking it. Perhaps they are involved somehow. I wonder. Yeah, I guess there is nothing else to do. Okay. Carefully you empty the liquid from the vessels into the basins. Seeming to move on its own volition, the liquid spreads from basin to basin through the inset grooves, and slowly the entire room hums into life. It appears you have conjured something back to life. This is like a view screen or something. The interior of the aperture appears like a churning vortex of some black, oily substance. Within its motes of light appear looking almost miniature stars that are born and die within the span of moments. Images form straight geometric shapes that combine and recombine in strange infinite fractals. Looking around for a way to operate the strange machine, your hand passes over the liquid-filled basins. A strangely musical note can be heard. Soft at first and then much stronger as your fingers lightly graze the surface of the liquid. Dipping your fingers into the liquid at different points produces unique notes, almost like playing an instrument. And as you do so, the images of the aperture shift. You find yourself mesmerized. The auditory and visual patterns seem utterly incomprehensible, and yet there is something there, something stirring in the back of your mind. The longer you play with it, the more the strange sounds and images resonate with you. You begin seeing them for what they are, terms of some great cosmic equation, a language of pure logic. No longer are the notes mere sounds with each note a number resonates, as if sensing your dawning understanding of the great machines offers you a prompt. Ah, oh no, it's mathematics. I guess it's 5. You combine, the previous letters or something. Machine prompts as you enter the next number. Right, it's 3, then it's 8. 5, 13. A sonorous polyphonic wave of equations issues forth from the aperture. But yeah, this is true. This is horror beyond Lovecraft's imaginings. It's math puzzles. Like a veil being lifted, you find that you now understand the machine's language on an instinctual level. The machine serves at your command. What's going on here? The image is one of deep, timeless sleep, millennia passing in silence, then a sound, something banging on the outer skin. Children, they have descended from the trees and multiplied. In their greed for knowledge and power, they have now come to disturb us. So, I don't know. Evolution bad, okay. But something else has crept in. They have torn the veil. It is here now. It claws at our skin. We are holding for now, but we grow weak. The navigator must awaken. Oh yeah, I guess this machine isn't this complex isn't actually some evil place. It's to keep the horror from beyond away. I guess. Issue another query. Unlock the doors. The machine abides, the inner doors have been unlocked. I do sort of find this, weird biological machine and stuff interesting, but I get the feeling we, won't explore this more deeply, which is a bit of a disappointment if that's so. Like, I like it when a story, whether it's a game or a movie or whatever, if they explore truly like alien kinds of, like, alien not in the sense necessarily of aliens from space, but alien, something inhuman that still has its own logic and methodologies and stuff. This is where we started. Yes. Like, if human, and it is difficult for humans actually to truly understand something truly alien and sympathize with it. It takes a lot of skill and imagination. I guess, yeah, there were only 2 doors that are locked. How about the other way? Okay, there's nothing here. I guess I should save. What's this? I guess it's like the switch for the door or something. So it's like a boss chamber, but we're naked without any weapons or anything. La 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 la. The navigator's pod, I'm sure. You stand in the halls of Titans. No man was ever meant to see this. Why did you come here? It was her, wasn't it? Or was it? Did you ever really have a choice? Was there some unseen hand driving you towards this doom? Breathing fast and head reeling, your eyes fix on something utterly out of place in its mundanity. A discarded shoe. Embla. Look behind you. You sense her before you see her, a luminous phantom in the darkness. Naked and emaciated, there is nonetheless something in her bearing, acceptance, an aura of maternal comfort. She strokes your cheek.
Don't be afraid, daydreamer. We're with him now.
What's happening?
Come, look upon him.
She takes you by the hand
Ocean man, take me by the hand.
and leads you to the base of the massive stone on a throne. Stars flash before your eyes as you force yourself to look at the statue seated on it. Or is it something more? A sleeping king? A god? Your heart begins racing. You cannot bear standing in its presence. Embla begins laughing as tears stream down her face. A tremor violently shakes the structure, and you feel more than hear an otherworldly scream coming from somewhere outside. Embla's eyes are wide.
Time is running out.
My time is running out, can't stop it screaming out.
I must do what I was summoned here for, and you must help me.
Help you do what?
The king must awaken before the dragon reaches him. He slept for so long and there is little of his essence left. He needs fresh life.
So we have to sacrifice ourselves to the king or something? The glass sarcophagus opens as Embla approaches. To your amazement, you see that the inside is molded to perfectly fit a human form. The dire implications of this device are unmistakable. No! It can't end like this. I'm supposed to take you to your father.
Don't you understand?
She smiles sadly.
I'm already with my father.
She softly strokes your cheek.
I've always come here and you always brought me. Time and time again we stood here in this place, and every time you do the right thing. That is the entirety of my universe now. Him in front, you behind.
But you'll die.
All things die, but I'll be with him. I wonder if I will look out from behind his eyes.
Slowly and painfully, Embla hoists herself onto the rim of the sarcophagus. With much effort, she swings her legs up and lies down into the device. Her body seems to have aged years just since you entered the chamber, but now a look of utter relief washes over her face. The machine emits an oddly beautiful note. A ritual has begun and it is time for you to take part. So she's gonna be the fourth Grandmaster then, because there was the Karoleth the Many-Faced, Rothrax the Grey, and Kalamar the Wise. So she's gonna be Embla the idiotic, I don't know. Interact with the machine. A torrent of resonant waveform logic floods into you, and the machine now awaits your command. Commence the ritual. A huge tremor once again shakes the craft. The howl that sounds this time is much more forceful. Something is about to breach the craft's outer hull. Embla half-open eyes remain fixed on you as you feed the machine a harmony that sets the ritual in motion. Shouldn't be Embla's half-open eyes remain fixed. Whatever. The faintest trace of a smile plays across her lips. Snaking tendrils emerge from the holes in the machine, seeking out the body encased within. She jolts as they plunge into her flesh. I have such sights to show you. For a moment she is quiet, and then she breaks into violent spasms. The machine begins to whir and the tendril plugs pulsate obscenely with peristaltic motion. It has begun! Let the ritual proceed. The room shakes violently, the light streaming from the anti-womb into the sleeping king as Embla is utterly unmade. He who sat undying for eons stirs. He rises! You are but an insect at the foot of gods. All is darkness. You finished the game? 2997 was a year. Well, peace and stability reigns. with one exception. The outer isles were lost. The event is extensively documented. The catastrophe was wholly natural, albeit tragic. Volcano Kataban awoke after millennia of dormancy. It is written that the plume of smoke could be seen from the mainland, but there were other rumors as well. Sailors claimed they saw a new star in the sky on the night of Caraban's eruption. Such rumors are naught but lies. Let it be known that after much toil and hardship, Argonaut joins the illustrious ranks of the Most Holy Order of the Persevering Blade. To be one of us is to have spat in the face of death and despair. It is to be the one who forges ahead where lesser souls stand trembling. Now, onward to glory. You completed the game as level 20 battle magos in 65 days. Report this dying fiend on Twitter to a Skald RPG AL. Yeah, sure, I have to do it. I've seen other people, because it's like in Ultima games, I guess it's been a tradition that people send screenshots of the end screen of Ultima to Richard Garriott or Lord British, whatever his name is. And I guess this, AL, I think he's some Norwegian guy, but I don't remember his name. Anyway, he wants to be the next Richard Garriott, I guess. And I appreciate his ambition, and I do think this was a good game, and I would recommend it to anyone who likes computer RPGs, and especially if you see a few pictures of this game and think, oh, that looks cool, you should play it. It was the same for me, like a few months ago when I first saw the pictures of this game, like, oh yeah, I want to play this game. And it's like it's good, but I don't want to say I was disappointed, because it's too strong a word, but maybe because nowadays, usually when it comes to games, I try to keep my expectations low. And but for this game, I did get genuinely excited and hope that it would be truly amazing. And it wasn't truly amazing, it was good, very good, I would say. But so it's I do take partially responsible that maybe I was expecting a bit too much, and it is a good game, but still uh, there are some things that could be fixed more easily. For of course there were plenty of typos, like in the grand scheme of things, they don't matter much. But I guess if I were a professional reviewer or something, they would knock off a few points and stuff. And but okay, let's start with the ending. The ending, like, I do appreciate it in the sense that it was different. It wasn't cliched in the sense that as you expect every fantasy RPG to be. But it's like, for one, it was too easy, and I'm not the kind of guy who usually wants. I don't look for the most difficult game. Like, I do notice that I often end up enjoying games the most when the challenge is they're challenging, but not in an unfair way. But this game actually, like, it wasn't like it set itself out. Oh, I'm gonna talk about the difficulty and other stuff later, but first the ending is sort of like the final boss was easy. Like, it was not like I can't even say it was too easy to be a final boss. It was simply easy. Like, it wasn't challenging at all, and that's come on. Especially this game is supposed to be dark fantasy and Lovecraftian and stuff. Like, it should be tougher, and it's just like I'm level 20. I think most people, when they complete the game, they are around level 20. or well, it's the maximum level. So, but anyways, like I don't think so many people are like level 11 or something when they finish the game. Um, but anyways, like I did like sort of like the weird alien Lovecraftian HR Geiger thingy. Like I do think it was interesting, this world we were shown at the end, but it's also like a bit superficial. I would have liked to have seen more of it, like the juxtaposition of this normal fantasy world that we usually in, and then this world. Like well, the developer wants to make a sequel, so I hope the sequel would have more of that. And I do want to play a sequel. Don't you know make no mistake with that. Um, but also like the ending was like you just walk around and read a bunch of text. Like I can appreciate they didn't want any combat after we beat the boss, where Roland sacrifices himself. That's fine. Like that's unusual, but I'm not saying unusual can be good or bad. So and this it was a decent way of doing it. Like subverting expectations. It was a decent way. I'm not saying the optimal or the best way, but not a bad way of doing subverting your expectations. But I do like since it was I would have liked a bit more depth into the ending, like this weird world we are suddenly thrown into, and like maybe a bit more puzzles with actual gravity. Like the most of the puzzles, like they were piece easy. Like I would have like seen bit more challenge. Like of course RPG puzzles usually aren't as difficult as puzzles in in point and click adventure games and stuff like that. But still, I think they were very um, they were too simplistic, too superficial. The puzzles, like I had problems with the statue puzzle, but maybe it's just I was overthinking. Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know, but still, even the puzzles are something that I'm genuinely I could say like they were a bit disappointing. Like and RPGs don't have to necessarily have puzzles, but I think the ending really should have had a bit more to it. A puzzles that also reveal something about this alien world we've stumbled into, something like that. I would have liked seen. And then then the ending, of course, it shows you how you lose your companions in a tragic manner. Like first, Roland sacrifices himself heroically. I guess that's appropriate, for a character like Roland. It's a cliche, but I not all cliches are bad. Um, but it didn't really have like emotional impact. Like also like Embla sacrificing herself. Like at this point, like at first I was already like when I played the demo a month ago or whenever. And it sort of foreshadowed Emla's mystic abilities or something is calling to her. I thought she's gonna be like the high priestess of Cthulhu or something. That wasn't the great case, but yeah, it wasn't a surprise that she would sacrifice herself and then all of the others die. But it's I guess it's supposed to be tragic, but it's not. It's not done in an emotionally impactful way, really. For one, like most of the characters didn't have so much character development. Like Eben, he doesn't do much story wise. After you get him and you he joins your party and then you go to Horin and stuff, and that's pretty much it. And also Roland, there's few hints that he regrets the things he had to die he had to do. Oops. Freudian slip there, genuine one, I guess. Like, he regrets that, the things he's done in his career, and it implies, I think, when you went to the carnival village, that maybe he had to kill families of children or something, and he regrets it. So, and he sort of wants to die heroically. So, but that part was a bit too subtle, I think. Like, there should have been more character development for pretty much all of the main characters. And then uh, yeah, the one thing I want to talk about is because this game has both, like, these story-based characters you can recruit, and then you can make your own characters. And because I pretty much know that the addition of characters, these other player characters that they can recruit, I think is sort of like a last minute thing, because the developer sort of asked about it on Twitter, like, hey, he made a poll, do you want ready-made characters or characters you can make? And I think, although I'm sort of 50-60 in the matter which I prefer, because it really does depend on the game how I like it. But I think I voted I want the make characters myself, and then he sort of added it, and it does, like, I'm not saying that it's bad the way he did it, but it's like it's still a bit sort of doesn't resonate well for one. Well, at the end, Drina was ignored completely. There was no scene saying, showing her die or suffer or anything. But I think all of the other pre-made characters had some sort of scene at least with them, but she was ignored. But also, I would have liked to see that something like that happen to Manglenda and Barfix and whoever. But yeah, I would like to see a game, this sort of RPG where you make all of the party members yourself, but they still have some story. Like, I've been thinking how to do it. Like, you could choose, like, when you create a character, you can choose some background traits. Like, some RPGs you can, like, well, this one, yeah, in this game you can choose some background traits. So then maybe sort of sneakily the game could add some backstory to them as well, and something that they are relevant for the plot, like some character's sister, you have to rescue them or whatever, and it's relevant or something, even though you didn't necessarily choose. But you can choose some orphans with only one family member alive or something, and stuff like that. And but that's not to criticize Skald specifically. That's pretty much all RPGs with custom made party members. Like, they're a bit bland, and of course not every game has to have very deep party members and stuff, but it is nice. And, like, if I play a game like Final Fantasy, then I at least the later ones, Final Fantasy 6, 7, 8, so on, it's nice to have pre-made characters because they're more relevant, if they fit the story and stuff better. But whatever, let's move on. Like, the gameplay, I think is decent. Like, the combat and stuff is decent. It's good. Like, of course, I guess the leveling system, it was fine. Like, I guess some tweaking could be done. Like, I remember when I played the demo, I didn't really get it, that you have to put 3 points into some, fire magic spell casting to unlock the spells, and then I probably put 2 points and something, and it's like, you if you pay attention, you know how it works. But I was just like, just do this feels good, because I don't think that's how it usually works, that you can put 2 points into something and it does absolutely nothing. Like, usually 1 point at least does something. Like, of course there are increments that 3 points is much more powerful than 2 points twice or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so, but yeah, I do think that the gameplay is, the combat and stuff is fine, but yeah, it was a bit too easy actually, because the game did sort of market itself as this dangerous dark fantasy world and it's very perilous. But it was only like the first couple of sections in the beginning of the game, like the beach where you wake up on Idra, the island, and then the lighthouse and stuff. It's basically those areas. After you find the camp, the refugee camp, then I think already at that point it starts to get a bit easier because you get more characters and stuff. Of course, there are many, like there are some more difficulties, but it's like, this was normal. This is how the game is intended to be played. So it does sort of, there's some dissonance there, I would say. And what else? Oh yeah, well the stuff that I really hate is that the skills, like sometimes you cannot use the character with the best skill because the game in some particular dialogue the game wants you to have the main character lead the party, and then you cannot use the best character with athletics or healing or whatever. That's really annoying. Like, of course, sometimes, and this unrealistic way sometimes benefits the player. Like, I don't think I complained about it, but it's sort of silly. Like, if you have the best guy with athletics leading the party, and then you have to climb a wall or something, that guy can of course climb easily, but what about the other characters? Your weak mages. How can they climb the wall then? So that sort of, it's not something, because it would be tedious if every character has to roll the climbing check separately. So that's why I didn't complain about it, and since it benefits the player also, but in a reasonable way. So, but it is still sort of silly, I guess. But yeah, I really hated sometimes how the seems arbitrary what character skill check you can use and stuff like, or even it's just you have to do some save scummings that you're walking forward with cat with your best thief stealth character, but then suddenly you have to do a lore check, and okay, then I have to fail this and reload, since I cannot redo the lore check because it's an immediate thing. In the grand scheme of things, it's not the biggest hurdle to enjoyment, but it does piss me off. Like, it's mostly the little things that piss me off. Of course, the graphics, they're nice. They're quite nice. I like it. I would almost say I prefer old school pixel graphics like this to modern 3D realistic whatever you have, GTA and what's that cowboy game? my brain is Rockstar's cowboy game. All this is of course and Skyrim and stuff. Of course, it's the gameplay in a game like Skyrim is completely different, so it's sort of unfair to compare them. But personally, I just think this sort of games look more artistic. And I'm not saying this game is because it's even more like old school and simplistic, the graphics in Skald, than many other even like Final Fantasy VI. It basically has better graphics in the sense that they're more developed, even though it's much older game. And I guess prefer more like the 16, because this is sort of like between 8 and 16 bit, I think, the graphics here. Anyway, yeah, I like the graphics, but just thinking if there's anything else I really wanted to say about the game. But I guess I should just summarize. I've rambled on long enough. But yeah, I do think Skald is good. But oh yeah, I guess the writing, yeah, the Lovecraftian stuff, that was what I wanted to say. Like, I've said it already that Lovecraftian stuff doesn't work as well in fantasy, because you already have magic and other weird stuff and then adding, Cthulhu or whatever there. It doesn't. The juxtaposition isn't as great as, set in a setting in the real world. Like you have some rational atheist Lovecraftian character who only believes in science, and then he notices like, wait a minute, these stuff defy all rules of logic and physics and stuff, but they appear to be real. WTF is going on? Like, contrasting with Dreams in the Witch House, sort of point and click slash resource management game I streamed a few months ago. Like, of course, it's directly like the story and stuff is directly lifted from the Lovecraft's novel of the same name, Dreams in the Witch House. But as a Lovecraft, it's probably the best Lovecraft game I have played in terms of capturing the feeling of Lovecraft in a game. That has to be the best I've played. I haven't played every of them, but but I'm not saying it's necessarily a better game than this because it's difficult to compare. That was resource management and puzzle solving, whereas this one was an RPG. So it's very different genres. But as a Lovecraft product, that was definitely better. But of course, mechanics wise, that game still had some annoying features. But whatever. So yeah, this. But the writing, like, yeah, I've seen a lot of praise for the writing, but it's, I think it was okay. But like, based on the demo, I got the impression the writing is gonna be really awesome, but it wasn't that awesome. Like, decent. Overall, it's like, compared to many other RPGs, I can't say it's probably still better than 50% of them or whatever. But it's like, first of all, the Lovecraftian stuff, it wasn't subtle enough to be Lovecraft, because already early on, like on the beach where you're shipwrecked and stuff, you find the journal and stuff. Well, even on the ship where you start the game, the Zephyr, was it called? Yeah, the Zephyr. There's journal written by the surgeon of the ship or something, and it's already describing the rats with human-like hands, like Brown Jenkins, and there's like a few different journals like that in the game that they're like a miniature Lovecraft novel in itself. And I think it would have been better if a couple of the journals they're like they're really mundane, boring stuff, and then maybe there's a hint of something unusual, like, wait, does it mean that? And then when you get to the, let's say, the third or the fourth journal, then you understand, okay, there is something really weird going on. But it wasn't really subtle enough, like a lot of the Lovecraftian stuff in the game. And I'm not saying it's terrible or anything, but it's it could have been done better in my opinion. And of course, then there's the female characters and their forced lesbian romance. Because it's and I can't fault the developer too much on this, and because he I think he did also, one guy did most of the game. I think he had some freelance writers helping him. I don't know if programming and graphics he had any help or not sure. But anyway, so like I do sort of sympathize with the developer that they sort of expect that they're supposed to add some sort of modern influences, but especially a game like this, because it's old school retro and Lovecraftian and stuff and dark fantasy, it shouldn't have many modern stuff. Like the many of the female characters, they're too masculine. Like it's not like true wokeness horrible or anything, but it's like they are sort of like written like male characters, but they're female, and it's a trend that has been going on for too long, and it's just annoying. It's takes me out of the world and the game. And but yeah, I do, I think that maybe the developer did it because he thinks the audience expects it or something, or I don't know. Because at least, I think the game, when you create a character, it asks if you're male or female. It's not, body type A, body type B, or anything like that, or no, there's no non-binary option or anything like that, which is good because doesn't really, if you want to make your current year the game, knock yourself out. You can add whatever needless bullshit you want, but it shouldn't be in an old school RPG like that. It serves no practical purpose. But anyways, I think I've rambled on enough. So yeah, I do think, I had some, plenty of criticism, but it's, mainly because I do like the game and I care about it, and I hope the sequel will come out, and I hope it will be better. Um, so that's why I'm trying to give constructive criticism. It was a good game, and but there's still room for improvement, and I think it's please do support the developer, play the game yourself, and all of that, because I do genuinely like indie games like this much more than AAA games. Like I've done so for over a decade at least. Like because this is still this is clearly a passion project with some artful merit. It is a work of art in a sense, and like a lot of great works of art, it has its flaws and stuff, but yeah, I'm gonna end it here. So I've been Adventure Argonaut, and I thank you for watching. And we didn't, well, yeah, we destroyed the Black Priory, but it wasn't, the Black Priory wasn't what we were expecting, but I guess that was a good thing. But anyways, I'm logging out. Bye bye.